Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industry for generations with its cult following. That's right. Hold on tight, spider monkeys. We're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In honor of Twilight's 20th anniversary, we're going to be discussing the series that brought us glittering vampires and divided fandoms into teams. Of course, all three of us have already read all 4 books of the main series, so we're going to be discussing the books in the way that we are well familiar with them and we're very familiar with the movies. So this is not going to be like reacting and making theories. We're just going to enjoy the ride and relive some of those old memories.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. That includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the previous seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
Okay, so first I wanted to talk about how we were first introduced to Twilight. Unlike many other people, I did not read it when it first came out. I was actually very anti-reading it. But I made this deal with my best friend at the time. She needed somebody to go to the theaters and watch New Moon, I think it was. And I wanted somebody to watch Star Trek with me. So we made a deal. I would go watch New Moon and she would watch Star Trek. And
brilliant.
Of course, me being me, I cannot watch a movie. Well, I can. I just don't like it. But I don't like to watch a movie without reading the book. So I finally gave in and I literally binge read like all these books over the Thanksgiving break.
Nice.
I remember sitting in my car on the way to Atlanta, just being like, finishing up New Moon.
I was a child when the first one came out. I was a baby. Christy just flipped me off. For the viewers that can't see us,
I was in college.
I was in maybe 5th grade. I think it came out in 2005. I think I was 8 when it came out, right? 98, 99, 2000. I can't count.
Oh my God, yes, you feel old. We get it.
Anyway, so I read it in middle school for the first time, which, to be honest with you, I feel like this series was meant to be for that demographic. Middle to high school, really intended for young girls. You know what I mean? So, what?
And the offenses just keep coming.
I am now an adult and I am intending to read it. I am not saying that adults shouldn't read it. I'm saying that her writing was meant for children. This is nothing against you guys. I mean, I'm just saying,
to be fair, the character is in high school. So
yeah, like it's a young adult book. And I think that even her writing doesn't even reach young adult status. You know what I mean? Like it's very
young,
very immature,
very young.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I read it for the first time, it was life-changing because I was sucked into that baby like nothing else. It was one of the first series besides Harry Potter that I read that I felt like I was really entrenched in it. I wouldn't say that I was one of those people that was like Team Edward, Team Jacob. Like I didn't care that much. but I was really invested in the story. And I remember having to wait for Breaking Dawn and being like, I know what's going to happen, but also I cannot wait for this. You know what I mean? By the time that Breaking Dawn came out, I feel like the fad for my age group was over, but I was secretly still freaking out about the books.
For me, it was, I was heading toward geriatric age and
Christy. Just because I emphasized that I was a child did not mean that I was saying you're old.
I think I was actually working at, well, I won't say where, but one of my coworkers, who's also a good friend of mine, she had heard about the books coming out. And so we agreed to read them together and kind of like a little mini book club or something. And that's how I started reading them. And I think at that point, that was when Harry Potter had just wrapped up. The last book was released. And then people were kind of floundering a little bit because people had fallen in love with reading books again. And everybody needed something to take the place of that and something to look forward to. And so I think it hit just right at that time. Yeah. And that, people kind of reached for that one. But yeah, that was how I started.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. When I say the books are meant for children, that is not on the readers. That's on Stephanie Meyer.
You're good. I'm just giving you a hard time.
As three people who have worked in a library before, we know that many adults read young adult and like to stay there. And
love it.
I'm one of them. So I read young adult all the time still at the lovely age of almost 40. So
yeah, and there is no shame, I feel, in that. No. As long as it's like an innocent love. You know what I mean? Like some of the best stories come from those places. Like Harry Potter changed the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hunger Games.
And he was much younger too.
Yeah. So yeah.
Percy Jackson.
This is one of those things.
Oh,
Percy Jackson.
I haven't read the books yet, but the movies are good. Because it's in first person.
The movies or the TV show? Because the movies kind of sucked.
I don't have, isn't it on Disney?
Yeah, the TV show is really good.
I liked the show.
Rick Riordan actually worked on the TV show. He did not help with the movie, and he made that very clear.
I have not. So we get Disney once a year, like 1 month, once a year. So in December, I will watch that. So
nice. Sounds good to me. I mean,
comparatively, the movie and the book, not comparing. Like you can't even compare. The books are so much better.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have a good friend who has dedicated her whole arm to Percy Jackson-esque tattoos. And I feel like Percy Jackson, like, made Greek mythology cool for a whole generation.
Oh, okay.
Although I was always obsessed with, that was the whole reason why I picked it up, was because it was Greek mythology.
But were we always obsessed with vampires?
Yes.
Because I feel like, so Twilight, there's always been like a vampire craze, like Anne Rice and stuff like that.
Yes.
But Twilight took that craze and took it a way different direction.
I don't know.
It up.
Way different. She what?
She sparkled it up.
She sparkled it up. I thought you said she fucked it up, and I was like, girl, we're about to read this.
I don't know about you, Christy, but for me, Buffy was where my vampire obsession happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was the kind of vampire that I really like, the kind of dark.
But also sexy.
Redeemable. Yeah. But that redeemable, but yet so dark in their redemption kind of thing, not sparkles. That I will say for the Twilight books, that was the point that really drove me nuts, was the sparkle part.
I think the thing that we're probably going to have to discuss it at some point is, Stephanie Meyer wanted her vampires to be mysterious, but she didn't want them to be evil. And I think, we'll get into it as we discuss.
Dark is not evil.
But first of all, Spike was definitely my first morally gray love interest.
You're right. That was not what I intended to say. I wasn't trying to say that that Buffy vampires are evil.
Lily is just having the hardest time.
I'm tired of this, man.
We still need to get together and watch it. I mean, maybe we could have like a Netflix watching over someday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Over the internet watching.
The reason I said that is because there is a very clear direction she wanted her vampires to go, and it was away from anything that was seedy, you know? And like vampires typically have gray paths, right?
Yeah.
They have to operate in places that a lot of people, I feel like I'm digging a fucking hole now.
Now, I mean, I love that vampires in general can be like, there's the whole Dracula thing where he is clearly a bad guy, but he's also kind of sexy.
Yeah.
And mysterious and whatnot. And then Stephanie Myers did.
That's the allure.
Yeah. Stephanie Myers did take them in a new direction and made them vegans, sort of.
Okay.
Vegans who still eat like animals, which doesn't really work out. But
okay, you can't say that in front of the resident vegan.
God.
But that's what they're considered. They're considered vegans.
Yeah, that's not a vegan. Kind of like the opposite.
But I love that every culture kind of has this idea of a vampire and a werewolf. And it's not something that is culturally specific. It is a monster mythology creature that is in every single.
And it always preys on the innocent.
And always preys on the innocent. But it's also kind of like a representation of sexuality.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, the Sookie...
It's forbidden. It's like...
the Sookie Stackhouse series where they came out of the coffin. And it can be very representative of so many things.
Well, I think one other aspect that is kind of interesting based on what you were saying as far as how she wanted to represent the vampires, that she didn't want these darker versions.
Yeah.
But I think especially, and hopefully I'm not taking this in too serious of a direction, but especially in today's time when you really look at it. So if you compare it to Buffy with the kind of trials and tribulations that like Spike have, that Angel has, the things that they go through, the darkness that they have to go through to really redeem themselves. And then for her versions that she feels like are the maybe good ones, they are the rich. They look a certain way and they look a certain way as good. And of course, in a lot of the books that we read, those are usually like the most evil. I know that these are not.
Right.
But I think that that's kind of an interesting aspect that to her, that visual is more of the good versus bad rather than what they go through.
Yes, I think that's super important. And we are 100% going to have to talk about that as we read these books.
Yes, definitely.
We cannot ignore the blatant favoritism that Stephanie Meyer has for a certain demographic. And we're going to have to talk about it. I think that's important.
Yeah. I also think it is this
favoritism is a nice way to put it.
Yeah. But there is this kind of like cultural phenomenon that is Twilight, where it has invaded other vampire stories.
Yeah.
For instance, one of my favorite book series is the Night Hunter series, where the character, the main male love interest, is based on Spike. I mean, like, you might as well just be. But there is at one point he meets this reporter and he can read people's minds, and the reporter finds out and he's like, if you ask me if I sparkle, I swear to God I'll kill you right now.
Dude, when we were reading Zodiac Academy, it was everywhere. The references were everywhere. It has sunken its claws into culture. It is now a part of pop culture in the way that I hate to tell people this. They don't want to admit it. But it is a part of culture in the way that Harry Potter, Star Trek, Star Wars, all of them are now entrenched in our media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Twilight's there to stay, man.
I was just going to say, I don't think we're getting rid of it.
No, definitely not.
Quick question. There is a lot of theory going on with the 20th anniversary coming up. I think it's the 10th anniversary she released Life and Death. So there's a lot of thought that on the 20th anniversary, we're getting a new book. Do you think we're getting a new book?
I think we are, but I don't think this is going to sound really wrong of me, but I don't think Stephanie Meyer is capable of recreating what she has already done. You know what I mean? Like she is only able to build off of what she has. Like we have Midnight Sun, Life After Death. I think that's called Life and Death.
I think it's Life and Death, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then she has that one other side book, which I always forget the name of. But they're all part of
the short,
the like novella one.
There's the short, sweet Second Life of Bree Tanner or something like that.
Right. That one. So they're all connected in this world. And so I'm sure that for the 20th anniversary, my prediction is it'll be something like Midnight Sun, or it'll be maybe a continuation of a character. She got a lot of flack for the way Jacob's story ended, so maybe she won't go that direction, but maybe she will go somewhere.
A lot of people are predicting it might be Jacob's story.
You know, she is nothing if not shameless.
I don't want to read about her.
Yeah.
Him babysitting and then, yeah.
No, Renegade is not on my to read list. I don't want to read her life story.
Yeah, no.
Renesmee, whatever her name is.
Ratchety. Yeah. I like that nobody on the internet will actually say her real name. So
not a soul.
I think we should continue that. So just be aware.
We will only say Renesmee once for the fact of acknowledging that she is who she is. Now is forever not going to be that. Mm-hmm. But when you guys read it, did you get as entrenched into the teams, or did you always know that Edward was the one?
I was definitely Team Edward for Bella.
Right.
But I also had this weird kind of Team Alice thing going on.
Oh, hell yeah. I remember people who really loved Alice.
So
she is great with Bella.
So yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I was really... I didn't get quite as into it. I mean, I read the books, but it wasn't quite at the point of really caring too much who she ended up with. I mean, I enjoyed the stories and things like that, but I really wasn't. But if I had to choose now, for the simple fact that obviously I'm going to be Team Animal all the way, regardless. So I would still have to say Team Jacob, just to...
Oh my God. We're going to get lit up on the internet, but... Okay, so everyone has taken into the account that I was a child when I read this, but Jacob was my favorite for years. And until he did the unspeakable, he was my favorite. She ruined his character. She buried him deep into the ground real fast. And I get it. A lot of people didn't like him because he was kind of aggressive, I guess. And that's a fair point. He's like really controlly, but so is Edward.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people overlook the Edward controlliness. So Jacob was always my favorite. And up until the fourth book, I really wanted him to be the one. But sorry to everybody. I know that's like blasphemy on the internet now, but I remember what I was going to say earlier. When Brittany said that it has made its way into other books and has like affected other media, something came to me about the mind reading, and it was ACOTAR. ACOTAR being the blueprint that it is nowadays for a dark, broody shadow daddy who also mind reads Rhys.
You're not going to ruin Rhys for me?
Does it have to ruin his character?
A little bit.
I'm just saying. In the way that every time I read a fantasy book, especially a romantasy nowadays, my first thought goes to ACOTAR. You know, if there's a shadow-wielding man, and there often is, I can't help but overlook the fact that Rhys also reads mine, like Edward.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
What was his name? Alice's partner? I can't remember right now.
Jasper Emmett?
Jasper. He was not good enough for her. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's a slam dunk. Gotta agree with that. Can we all just agree that we're like Alice lovers?
Yeah.
Alice truthers?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's great.
Now, I know you've said before that Eclipse was your favorite book, right?
Eclipse is my favorite. Yeah. Even though Jacob is aggressive and bleh in that book, he's my favorite. Sorry, everybody.
What about you, Christy? Did you have a favorite book of the 4?
Probably the original, probably Twilight, just because it was at that point just a very simple story. And that for some of it was, I started having issues with certain aspects of the writing that it would contradict. So I think probably Twilight was my favorite.
I don't know if you can call it my favorite, but the one that I literally remember reading the most is probably New Moon. And
I can't stand that book.
It's so whiny.
Yeah, as a like 14-year-old who was probably going through depression at the time in middle school, or I guess, I was like freshly.
That's probably why I remember it so well.
I fucking hated it. I hated it.
But yeah, it's the one that I have the most visceral memory of reading. So I don't know if you can call it my favorite, but it's the one I remember reading the most. But then I told y'all this last time, like I literally typed up Twilight so that I could take Midnight Sun off of the internet and combine them together. Although I don't really
You are wild for that.
remember any of that. As far as memory goes, I probably remember the experience of reading New Moon the most.
I like New Moon because it has Jacob in it, but she's so depressed in it. It's so hard to read. It's just awful. I'm wondering how I will feel rereading it now, So I'm excited to relive these books and like see them as an adult. I haven't reread them as an adult. I did read Midnight Sun a few years ago. Hated that.
Same.
So I'm so excited.
It was awful.
So excited.
I didn't even finish it, and I don't ever not. I mean, there you have to really make me hate a book for me to not finish it.
That's true.
I will
you will read most things.
I will hate read things.
Yeah, so Christy, if you hated New Moon, do not read Midnight Sun. He is the whiniest bitch. Oh my! It's if you don't know what Midnight Sun is, it's Twilight from the perspective of Edward.
I remember y'all talking about it.
Oh my god! Yeah, awful.
Yeah,
awful.
It made me like him less as an already Jacob girly. But
I will say I did not. I read 50 Shades. I did just to see what it was about. And because of who I am and what my personality is, I had to read them all. And I had to read the from Christian's point of view. And
you're a completionist. It's okay.
It did not make me hate Christian the way that it made everybody else hate Christian. Because I was like, no, he was upfront with who he was in 50 Shades of Grey.
I see.
Whereas I hated Edward. This did not help his character whatsoever.
Which, by the way, for listeners, we may reference the books like Midnight Sun and stuff because there are some interesting details in Midnight Sun, and I haven't read Life and Death, unfortunately, and nobody can make me do that. But there are some interesting things in Midnight Sun that I do want to point out when I get the opportunity.
I feel like Life and Death is not canon, so I did not feel the need to read it.
So Edward says in Twilight that a vampire brings his or her strongest human quality into vampirism, and it is magnified to become their vampire gift. What would your vampire gift be?
I would totally have Edward's because I'm a nosy bitch. And
100%.
And paranoid.
Yeah. You would definitely have Edward's or something akin to it. Yeah. But in the best way. It's one of the things we love about him, right? It's a love and hate thing. As a kid, I always wondered what my vampire gift would be, and I kind of obsessed over it, but I have not a clue what mine would be. So, because the weird thing about their gifts is some of them feel like a personality thing, and some of them don't. Like, I always thought it was weird that Rosalie's was her beauty, but I get it, but like also like you couldn't think of anything better to give
For
her?
those of you not watching the video, as soon as Lily said that, totally had a roll of the eye, it was just an instinctive reaction. But
yeah.
if
She's so beautiful.
If I could roll my eyes even louder, I would do that for you.
Which, by the way, I'm a Rosalie truther, and I will always stand behind her, by the way. So
I just wish she had a little bit more personality.
I will make you guys love her. I vow. I vow to make you guys love her. I'm going to make it happen.
Okay.
And then Emmett is just like, what, strong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's like super strong. Woohoo.
Himbo for the win.
Woohoo.
Okay, but honestly, can we just say Emmett is probably the best guy in the book? He's happy-go-lucky, kind of a goof.
Doesn't have a brain cell.
In the best way, though. He's a sweetie pie.
And then you've got Jasper, who fought for the Confederacy.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah. Total winner right
definitely
there.
want him around. Yeah. Well, I don't know what my gift would be. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like building or something. I feel like I'm really good with my hands. I don't know, man. What do you think, Christy? Yours would be animals.
I think, well,
you could speak to animals.
I don't know,
Or
because it
plants.
says your strongest human quality. And I think we would all be fucked because I think empathy would actually end up being mine, and I would be the most emotional vampire ever. I think I would
You'd have like Jasper's.
I think I would
something.
make Drusilla look positively sane or linear, as Cordelia puts it.
I could see if there was a gift of seeing the future, that might be yours, Lily. Or protecting.
Well, Alice sees the future.
That's true. Duh, Brittany.
I was like, girl, what?
Yeah, I could see you. Like, I just had the biggest. I said Rosalie didn't have a brain cell, or Emmett didn't have a brain cell, and I totally just lived up to that. But anyway, yeah, no, you totally could see the future. I could see you having the protectorate, not of yourself, but of others.
I'm putting up little Korean hearts for you. The little finger heart.
And I said the same thing about your signet, but I feel like you would have some kind of talk to animals, or like maybe you grow plants with
poison ivy.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And then I kill people
There
with
are
it.
other-
Wah.
We'll have to get to it when we get to Breaking Dawn, but there are other vampires that can do things like that. So we'll talk to it then. We'll talk about it then. All right. Well, we really hope that you guys will join us for this season of Midnight Readers podcast, and because we're going to be discussing Twilight chapters 1 through 6. New episodes drop each week, so don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week, so please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.